Why will there be a reinstatement of the priesthood through Zadok in the Millennial Kingdom? Who thinks so deeply except Joshua?
This was a question posed by a minister, a friend of ours, who's Reformed Presbyterian.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good question. All right, we always expect good questions from Joshua. Okay. Make us think. Now, the question is, turn to Ezekiel chapter 40. Ezekiel chapter 40, verse 46. Ezekiel 40, 46. Okay, let's see. Yeah? And the chamber whose prospect is toward the north is for the priests, the keepers of the charge of the altar. These are the sons of Zadok among the sons of Levi. Now Zadok, who is Zadok? The son of Levi. So it's a proper priest, all right, from the Levitical tribe. And this is describing the priesthood that will be reinstated in the new temple. Okay, the new temple. So the question is, why will there be a new temple? Okay, if you read Ezekiel 40 to 48, it describes a new temple. Is there any temple in Jerusalem now? Well, Solomon's temple was destroyed, right? That's the first temple. And then the people came back from Babylon. They built the second temple. Alright, that temple got destroyed when? AD 70. Right? God judged Israel, got destroyed. Now, this third temple, it will be the Millennial temple. The description of Ezekiel is in the 1,000 year period. There will be a temple in the 1,000 years. So, you're seeing the future. What will 1,000 years be like? Oh, there will be a temple. Alright? In the temple, the Zadok priesthood will be reinstated. Okay, the question is, why will the Zadok priesthood be reinstated? Because there will be sacrifices. Ezekiel 40 verse 39 to 43. Ezekiel 40 verse 39 to 43. 39. Okay, so describing what will happen there. Now, verse 39. And in the porch of the gate were 2 tables on this side and 2 tables on the other side to slay thereon the burnt offering and the sin offering and the trespass offering. And so on and so on. There will be offerings. There will be sacrifices. Alright, so I see everyone squinting already. Huh? You mean when we get into the millennium, there will be a millennium temple, and then there will be sacrifices? There will be slaying of animals, sacrifices again. So, to answer first step, why is there the millennium kingdom? Is because, why is there a priesthood? Because in the millennium kingdom, there is going to be sacrifices. Only the priest can perform the sacrifices, right? Okay, so that, yeah.
Why would there be the need of animal sacrifices if they're all abrogated by Christ once for all sacrifice?
Okay, so if Christ said no more sacrifices in the New Testament, right? How come have sacrifices there? Because God says so. It's the same answer as, how come now no more need? Christ, why don't we continue to have it? No, but Christ said no, now no need. But Christ said in the Millennial Temple, He intends to set it up. So that is a question that God never answered directly. It's just I say I want to implement the new one and it's better. And in the Millennial Temple, I want to have sacrifices again. Most people believe is simply there you will see Christ. You will see Christ, but will you forget what Christ did? So that actual, it's just like today we have Holy Communion, right? Then maybe we have no Holy Communion. So that will be the reminder, those exercises. Why do we have Holy Communion now? It's a reminder of Christ's death, His resurrection, right? It's a reminder. So back then, okay, so many theologians ask this question. To me, the answer that can be most acceptable is well, definitely God just simply said there is. And He intends to put back the priesthood. We can't argue with Him. The reason is why. The reason, I believe, is so that the ongoing, there is a reminder that this is what God, that we see did for us. Alright, I think it's an acceptable answer. Okay? Alright? So, okay, I think Samantha got to go. But you roughly got the answer. Okay. See you. Okay. But you got the answer, right? Okay? Thanks. Okay, so now, have you eaten?
Yeah.
All eaten, right? So So maybe I'll explain again. We know for a fact, God says in the millennium there's a temple. In the temple there are sacrifices. And therefore there must be, God says, I want to reenact the priesthood. And will be Levite priesthood and will be Zadok line. Alright? Because they must do the sacrifices. Why? God simply said, I intend to do it. We don't know why. Then we can ask Him. And I believe it is to be a constant reminder of what He did. Okay? Does it answer your question?
Okay, so these sacrifices, they wouldn't really have any weight for our atonement. It's not as if, because our minister was like, he heard that this certain view of premillennialism is there are certain divisions as dispensationalists, and the Jews are always under sacrifices, and therefore in the millennium they will be atoned for by these sacrifices, not under the overall covenant.
Okay. It cannot be that because Paul himself, being a Jew, was the greatest fighter against continuing the sacrifices. If that were the case, then Paul himself would say, yeah, please carry on with the sacrifices. And Paul wrote under the inspiration of the Holy Ghost. If Paul said, no, as Jews we are not under that anymore, then it is not. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so, well, you may have heard from some people, but definitely BPs do not believe in that. It is not because the Jews continue to need that. Yeah. Nowhere does the Bible say that. Yeah. Alright? Yeah.
But since Christians are also priests, in a sense, then does that mean that we can also offer sacrifices in the millennium?
Okay, so in here, it's quite specific. God said it will be the Levitical priesthood still.
Okay.
Even in the Old Testament, God calls them, you are a nation of priests. So don't think that in the Old Testament they are not priests. Yes, but those that offer sacrifices, but God said, as a nation, you are like a priest. A nation of priests. Alright? So it said like we are a nation, but God says, in millennium, I only want the Levites to do that. Why? He intended it like that. Yeah. So some things God just did, and we just have to know He intends to do that. We ask Him when we meet Him. Yeah. Okay, but good question. Also now understand. Yeah. So what exactly was his point? So I wish I answered that for you.
He was thinking that why would you... The temple sacrifices were not just a reminder. It says when they're reinstated, it means that they're no longer under Christ, they're under sacrifices. Like going back to the old covenant.
For the Jews then?
Yeah, or for whoever's going for that sacrifice, yes.
It can't be because Christ's work is once and for all, it is finished. So when He says it's finished means it's accomplished already. So whatever that is for a reminder. Otherwise we end up becoming like the Roman Catholics, where we believe the bread and the what is needed for us to be saved. The reason why it is not because Christ's work is finished. So then it's the same, it's reminders, that's all. It's not for us, for salvation. Yeah. Okay? You get the comparison?
Yeah.
If they say it's for sacrifices, then Holy Communion will be just like the Roman Catholic. It's for salvation. Okay, any other urgent questions that you must know before you go to school?